Welcome to Courageous Conviction. Remember that Jeff and I record each Saturday 5 episodes. So please hit the like button, subscribe so you catch all 5 episodes. We usually start out with one theme or topic. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes to really understand it. Some things are more sensitive than others right now, what's going on in the world. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's jump into this video.
What people don't like it. 86% of the people of El Salvador like it. They just reelected him last month.
People here in this country, they think that, that they shouldn't be doing that to their prisoners. I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe they should. And maybe cleaning things up is a good thing. Well, I mean, I do believe in due process. Don't get me wrong. And I think that's where, like Pinochet and those guys there, that they had too much power and they ended up abusing their powers because they also needed to be dealt a hand of justice, and eventually that's what happened. But, true justice, Lady Justice is blind, right? But that's really not what's happening now. We have political advocacy that, they're being targeted by the CIA and by the FBI and by, our justice system is a wreck right now in this country. And, we're following suit with other countries that have had their own issues. We need to get that back.
We are part of the Banana Republic now. It's just, we're not any different anymore.
You can't speak.
We're a joke.
We don't want that to happen in church. We want people to be able to be somewhat politically minded, but not divided, and, really kind of find unity in God and helping the fellow man, and service and things like that. You can take it from there.
Well, I think that, it kind of bringing it back around to tithing, to wrap up. We're talking about the patriotism part of it, and that's how we kind of went down this rabbit hole. So the patriotism that's needed right now, if I'm hearing you correctly, and I agree with this, is that we need the patriotism that, America was founded on the principles of freedom. The First and Second Amendment are the two most important amendments, and our founding fathers felt that way. That's why the First and Second, right? And the first one was be able to express yourself and be able to go to church and adorn who you want to adorn and have that freedom of religion, right? That was very important. And our founding fathers, they originally wanted to put it into the Constitution that everybody who came to the U.S. had to adapt Christianity. But then it was, no, we need to maintain that base of agency, that base of responsible freedom, and hope that the people will never abandon these mooring lines, if you will, of these principles based in Judeo-Christian values, right? They had only hoped and prayed that. Now, they did warn us how we would abandon those Judeo-Christian values, and that was one, that if public office became a seat of power or income. And that's what's happened. Public office now is a joke. It's a seat of power or for financial gain. I mean, how is Nancy Pelosi worth $70 million? All she was just politician, right? So where'd she get $70 million?
She didn't deserve that. She doesn't deserve that.
No, and that's insider trading. A lot of
that. Insider trading is very rampant right now within our politics.
Now, let me go. I was going to jump on some of the patriotism part of it. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go too far here because we're trying to close up. But the main thing is, going back to faith and being patriotic is great, but I don't want to go too far with the nationalistic kind of thing that Elder Oaks, warned about, right? We got to look back at Isaiah, and see what this world is supposed to look like. And that means uncovering those truths that we're seeing, millenniums ago, and,
that's patriotism, Jeff. That's patriotism, defending truth. Right. That's patriotism. And so when you have a country that's based on freedom, you can allow truth to exist. And that's what patriotism is, was when you are dedicated to a cause, in other words, a direction, the clarity of that direction, you should defend that direction, right? Because it works for everybody. Is it the most perfect? Is it, no.
That's freedom of speech.
But as human beings,
they're trying to do away with the Second Amendment right now. The most creative thing right now that I've heard.
And the first.
well, both, right? But it's by taxing, all the firearms that you have in your house now. They're going to try to pass that law, and everybody's got to register everything,
And munitions too. California
Yeah.
is going to make you do munitions.
and once it starts there, they're going to try to do that everywhere else. So, and that they're just trying to whittle away against the First and Second Amendment. And when those things are gone, we don't have a country anymore.
No, we don't. And that's what patriotism does need to come in. We need to, and I'm trying to, I like to say, I think it's Tim Pool, actually. He's been really come up with some really good things lately, but he really laid it out well. Being what a patriot is. And I wish I wanted to, I'm trying to quote him. And so I'm just going to finish this so we can, and I'll just throw these ideas out there of patriotism. Patriotism, we go out to the voting block and we vote. That's a patriot, right? We go do our part. But we have to educate ourselves on that vote. That's also being a patriot. And these are also what the church wants us to do. These are doctrinal things too, right? We don't just go vote. We don't vote because it's good looking or because I'm riding with the person that's currently in power, because I haven't made any other effort to seek for myself. So I'm just going to ride with that because I'm just that party, right? And we don't do that either way, right or left. And being a patriot means that we really care enough about our country that we want to make it better. And being a patriot doesn't mean that we don't want immigration. Being a patriot means that, okay, we don't mind people coming and joining us that want to help build this up, but we need a process to do that, a vetting process, a filtration an adaptation process where people can adapt and become part of the culture, right? I did a video that came out, I did a video yesterday or day before yesterday on diversity. And I don't know if you saw that video or not on diversity, but it was a good video on diversity and explaining that diversity is actually very dangerous. And diversity is what we're seeing now. The result of diversity is New York City and San Francisco. They're imploding on themselves. That is because they're too diverse. It's diversity in the wrong understanding outside of patriotism. You abandon patriotism to accept diversity and you get chaos and implosion. And that's what we're experiencing right now. We've got to get back to that Constitution, be faithful in supporting the Constitution and in speaking up. That's how you defend the Constitution, right? And when we do those things will clear up in our society and things will clear up in church. Because we're not doing that, we're getting the chaos. And because we're not doing that, the Marxists and this neo-Marxist movement of wokeism and this whole religion of academia is taking over because we're not being patriotic to this Constitution and to our religion.
And we'll fight against it.
And we are. That's what we're doing now. And fighting against is like what you and I are doing. We're explaining things. We're trying to help people understand this, come back to Christ, but also come back to Christ and be useful, right? Yep. Help build the kingdom. Don't just come back and just be a bug on the rug. Come back and do something. Because if you don't come back and do something, you won't stay. You'll leave again.
Gotcha. I hear that. Amen, brother.
Courage and conviction. We thank all of you for your support. Please give us a thumbs up, hit down below, hit that subscribe button, and shoot us out to your friends. We're slowly growing a little bit each week. We kind of slowed down a little bit. We need to help grow the channel so we can get the message out there. We appreciate you being with us during the week and hearing our podcast every Saturday. Jeff, you have a good week. And let's get this video up with Gloria. There's like 4 or 5 I would like to sit down and just break them down and unpack them. Just so loaded with some things in there that we can understand about the immigrants, understand about doctrine we should defend in the church, and actual doctrine in the church that's being kind of overlooked and confused today. And I'd like to walk through those so we have the facts there present for all of our listeners, and they can, not just hear what we have to say about it, but they can see it right from the horse's mouth.
Right on.
Final words, Jeff?
No, I think you summed it up really well. We want to be able to get some more videos pulled up here on our podcast and get some excitement going, and just thankful for the audience that's growing here and courageous conviction.
I will see you next Saturday.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.